Marriage, marriage, marriage. At times I wonder what it is about marriage. Some people take it with levity. Some people just feel, well, I think I've seen a girl, let her come and live with me. And somebody like our mommy or Dayemi talks so much about marriage, and she makes me to feel as if it's a big deal. Good afternoon, listeners at home. This is another day. We're in our school again, on my first. And I always tell you that when you join us on this program, just be prepared to know something more. I know knowledge is power. Whatever you know stays with you. And to enable you to overcome so many things, especially storms of life. My name is Bolade Bola, and with me is Mrs. Odeyemi. She was here last week, and she's here today. Last week we started talking about secrets. We talked about the secrets, things that are revealed to you by God stays with you. And we also said that the secret of the Lord is with those that fear Him. Now, we talked about secrets in the family. We talked about secrets as individuals. And we stopped last episode by talking about, I asked her what is marriage. I'm going to start there again. Like I said, when I was talking, my opening speech this afternoon, I said, marriage for some people is a big deal. What is marriage, ma'am?
Like I said the last time, that marriage is a relationship.
All right.
It's the coming together, the joining of two lives and two destinies by God. And the two lives here, talking about the husband that is a man, a male, and the wife, who is a woman, matured woman, female in nature, not a man and a man, not a woman and a woman, not a woman and a dog, not a man and a horse. Because I've seen people marrying themselves.
How?
Yes. There was a lady, I saw it on social media. She wore her wedding gown. She had her flower mates. She had the family that came together. And she said she was getting married to herself.
So she got that far.
So people have defined marriage over and over. Now, in some dictionaries, they define marriage as just the union of two partners. The human nature or the human gender about it is no longer there. So, but we are saying biblical marriage has to do with joining together of a man and a wife to become a family, to become a couple. And till death do them part. Very important, because so many people get joined, but it's not till death do them part. Some got divorced 2 years into the marriage. Some, on the way to the reception, they didn't even spend the night together because they had issues in the car. And the next thing, the guest slapped the husband. And the husband said, if you can do this to me, then you can do it to my mother and do it to my family members. Sorry, I'm out. And that's where the marriage ended. So marriage is not a contract, it's a covenant relationship. So if people know that, I'm breaking covenants when I'm doing anything that is injurious to my relationship, that I didn't just enter a contract. You can review the terms of a contract.
Yeah.
You can decide to terminate a contract, but not a covenant. There's nobody who breaks the covenant of marriage and does not suffer the consequences thereof. So marriage is a covenant relationship. And that's why in the book of Malachi chapter 2, God was saying that I am a witness between you and the wife of your covenants with whom you have dealt treacherously, unfaithfully. He says, this you do over and over again. You flood the Lord's altar with tears, in so much that he no longer hears you, nor regard the offering at your hand. He said, why? Because you have broken faith with the wife of your youth. The same thing, even in the book of Proverbs, it talks about a woman, breaking covenant with her spouse.
Thank you so much, Ma. While we were talking, something came to my mind, and I can't really explain it.
Okay.
But I will ask you the question: what
Yes.
happened between Isaac and Laban?
And Laban.
Yeah.
I don't know the context.
As in Leah and Rachel,
Okay. That he had to marry
the two of them.
the two of them.
We know it started from the father.
Yeah.
Yeah. There was a secret.
Okay.
Coming from that secret that we're talking about. The secret was known to Laban alone. I hope maybe you are beginning to have an understanding of where I'm going.
Okay.
That was a secret. And it affected those two girls. So there's no way you keep secret. It will bring out his leg and his hand. So what actually happened? Because fathers too. Fathers have secrets. Mothers have secrets. And they want to do it their own way.
There's no how it will affect the children negatively. And we must allow each person to decide. Our children, we don't decide for them. We don't decide for them. We must allow them to make their choice, because marriage has to do with making your choice.
So
there are things that you don't have a choice over. For instance, you don't determine who brings you into the world, who your parents are.
Yeah.
And even when you die, you may leave your wishes behind. But at the end of the day,
it may not go your own way.
It may not go your own way. And it will be people that will put you inside the ground and will bury you. But it's only marriage that you have the choice to make, to determine who you want to spend the rest of your life with. So you take responsibility for that choice. So So even when parents have their wishes, I wish you can, I wish.
Their wishes and their reasons.
But ultimately, it's you that will live in that house with the man. And it is you as a man that will live with that woman for the rest of your life, not your parents. So even if they have a say, you should have your way. You know what you want. And another thing is that marriage has to do with the purpose of God. If you have not discovered your purpose, don't get married. You must discover your purpose. God brought the woman into the life of Adam to meet him for a reason. Why do you want to marry? Have you discovered your purpose? Marriage is meant to serve the purpose of God. Yes. You see, because they say that when the purpose of a thing is not known, abuse is inevitable.
For example, let's say I'm a singer.
Okay.
I have discovered my purpose. So, should I look for a fellow musician?
Not necessarily.
So, how do I discover who that person should be?
Yeah, ask God, Lord, I'm a singer. Who have you joined my destiny with to help me in this ministry that you have given unto me? As a helper, as a helpmate, somebody that before the foundations of the earth you have ordained should journey with me into this assignment that you have given to me.
What is the essence of that?
What's the essence?
Yeah.
Because if you are wrongly married, trouble. Let me give you my own testimony or example. We met, that's myself and my husband met on campus as students in the fellowship. He was a leader. Of course, he was my senior in school. And he got engaged to a particular sister. She was a good sister. And they were in that relationship. So she finished before him and she went to serve. But one night, he said that every time he talks about what God will want him to do, that's about his purpose. She'll just develop a cold feet. her countenance will change. Because for her, she felt that you can still serve God. You don't have to leave everything to serve God on a full-time basis. So, because my husband kept telling her, I said, look, what God is telling him is that he may not work with a certificate that is going to serve him on a full-time basis. And of course, you know what that kind of a life means. That means sacrifice. So, but she felt, no, you can, be supporting, you can be doing the. So, along the line, he started praying about that relationship. So one night, he had a revelation, and he saw that he was in a bus, as if he was on a journey.
Yeah.
So, as he was about alighting from that vehicle, of course, it was with a lady. So, as he was about alighting from that bus, he now discovered that he looked at his feet and he saw that he was wearing an oversized shoe. One leg was okay, the other one was an oversized pair. So he woke up from that revelation and he said, God, what is the meaning of this? And God told him, he said, this lady you want to marry is an oversized shoe. I said, God, what do you mean? He said, she has an over-enlarged appetite for the things of this world. And if you should get married to her, you will ever be struggling to meet up with her taste. I said, God, so what do I do? I said, don't worry, I will help you to remove it. And that was how, after some time, she wrote a letter and said she was no longer interested in the relationship. Herself. And of course, that ended. Then he later, proposed to me, and we got married. We left school. All of us graduated. So we got married. Then I think she got married to somebody else too. 2 years into her marriage, she died. The person she also got married to died. So you can imagine if he had not understood his purpose and he decided to just manage and say, what will people say? Let me just manage. Maybe she's also a Christian sister. Maybe it would have been a widower 2 years into their marriage.
Wow.
So
That's deep.
Yeah. So marriage essentially has to do with serving God's purpose. Every marriage, every relationship that God allows, every marriage that God allows is for a purpose, and is to serve the purpose of God.
It's not necessary that you have to be in ministry.
No, not necessarily in ministry. Whatever assignment God is giving to you to fulfill here on earth. And the assignment is very clear. In Genesis chapter 1, from verse 26 to 28, it said, and God blessed them, made them male and female. And what did he say? He said, have dominion, be fruitful, multiply, and subdue the earth. That's the assignment. So anywhere we find ourselves, we must be found to be doing this.
Doing something for him.
Do something for him. So a woman is not an addendum. Marriage is not all about, getting somebody to cook. You don't have to marry
to get somebody to cook.
To get somebody, you can employ somebody to cook.
Who may even be more
of course, we have professional cooks that cook. We have men that cook even better than women.
Yeah.
Marriage is not all about having to meet your sexual instincts, your sexual urge. There are prostitutes there. If it's all about sex, they will give you more than you even want. So marriage is not about childbearing, procreation. So let me just have children. In fact, you can adopt.
Exactly.
Yes.
Or may even be saying we don't want children.
You can.
Because the way
I've heard of people that I don't want trouble. I just want myself and my wife just enjoy our lives. And three is a crowd. So we don't want children. And they're enjoying themselves and they're fulfilling the purpose of God.
Thank you so much.
And marriage is not all about, my parents wanting me to get married. See,
they want grandchildren.
We want to see our grandchildren.
They want to keep the family
name, family
business.
legacy. Business. No, it's not all about that.
All right.
Yeah.
I have to ask you that question.
Yeah.
Where we are going, we are still talking about secrets.
Yes.
Because if you are going to, you said that in marriage you must lay everything bare.
Yeah.
Nothing must be hidden.
Yes.
In fact, in those days, I learned that when your mother makes eyes at you, you know what she's saying. Same thing should happen in marriage. You know, your husband does not really have to talk. Your wife does not really have to say. Even hearing the voice on the phone, you know that something is wrong.
Yeah.
Now, why do people hide?
Simple. The Adamic nature.
Okay.
The human nature. And that dates back to the time of Adam.
Yeah.
That's just it.
They did something wrong.
They did something wrong and they needed to cover it. They didn't want to be discovered. They didn't want to be discovered because they knew that they had disobeyed God's instruction. See, how do we do this so that we'll not be discovered? So the human nature that we have always likes to hide and to keep things. That's the genesis of everything. That's the foundation.
I've heard some people say that.
Then another thing is fear of punishment. If I am discovered, I will have to suffer the consequences. So, and I don't want to go through that route. So let me just keep it. Then, of course, ego, pride.
Okay.
If this information is discovered, it's going to humiliate me. I'll feel so low. It's going to bring down my self-esteem. So you can do this. Yeah, so you can do this. I don't want to be insulted. I don't want to be called names. No. My reputation is going to be affected. Yes, those are issues. My reputation, you see. And integrity has to do with being what you are in darkness, what you are in the light. They say, I don't want my integrity to be tainted. So let me just keep it. Let me just hide it. Yeah.
Yeah, on the positive
Yes, ma'am.
side, when a man comes in and his wife has done something wrong, even children, when you see your children, when they've done something, you can see it all over them. And you'll be able to ask that, what is it? Say it. You know, and people don't want to say it. And like you said, that people hide because of fear, because of ego. So, what brings about this fear?
Yes, like I said, in fact, when you look at the scriptures, immediately Adam sinned and God called him, Adam, where are you? What was the next thing he said? He said, I was afraid and I hid myself. So, have you eaten what I said you should not eat? The next thing is, it was the woman that gave us to be with me. She's the one that caused this issue for me. I wouldn't have. So we don't like to take responsibility for our sins, our errors, our mistakes.
Don't you think if I have a good relationship with you, I should be able to say, Mom, I did something wrong today?
That is it. That is the ideal. Yes, that's the ideal. The highest thing is just like maybe a child that breaks a glass cup. Of course, mommy's going to maybe scold me. Mommy's going to beat me. Yes, but you hiding makes it worse. It's better to own up. Just own up. Immediately you see her coming in. Oh, mommy, I broke a cup. I don't like discovering something that you ought to have told me.
Your nature.
Yes.
Your nature may be the one that will just, okay, it's all right.
Of course.
You know some men, hey,
they will rub it in and...
A lady was selling, she had a business with her husband. And they were selling recharge cards. In those days, when you sell recharge card with card, it wasn't with display card. So out of excitement, because they had just started the business, that time they had this recharge card for 1,050, 1,005, 750. So out of excitement, she sold the one of 1,005 for 750.
Okay.
So she knew it is palava. So she just made sure that she replaced the money before the husband came. So when the other one was going through the account, I said, What? She knew what that word meant. She said, please, just take it easy. Here's the money. This is our husband and wife. So our reaction to our spouses makes them to be make them to
jittery and be afraid. Yeah.
So what should it be? Or let me put it this way: because I believe so many people are listening to us, and they are beginning to extray their life. Some have this attitude that they can't control. They get angry easily. Some even I've had situation where a man will just throw water at his wife, or the wife is just no. So how can they? I know you're not a psychologist.
Yeah.
How can I work on myself?
Yeah.
And make easy for my some husbands to even tell their wife something. Something. I'm not even talking about
like Yorubani. You know that she's too hot-tempered.
Some will say that and we have it everywhere now.
You see, when you don't deliberately grow and work on your character, you see, many people get married out of or because of charisma, not character. They don't look at the character aspects.
It is presently that we began to talk about character. We were not talking about character before.
Yeah.
We talk about family. Not character.
Not tani gang.
Exactly.
So we don't find out enough information about the character of that person. The truth is that marriage is marrying the character of that person. They are married the character, not the beauty, not the charisma. The charisma, those are externalities. Is the real person, who she is, what are her reactions, and those things you are supposed to discover them even before you get married.
Yeah,
you can't hide it. They say character is like smoke. You can't cover it up. It will soon be discovered. So, and those things that are covered up during courtship, those are the things that now manifest in marriage.
Right. What I say is that they grow horns in marriage.
I tell you. So I think we need to go back again. So the Christ that people received.
Now, is it possible for me to go to prayer? As I said, sorry, ma'am, what did you call your first name?
Fumi.
Let's say I'm the man. I said, I want you to tell me who Fumi is. Reveal, because I've heard people say it. Reveal who Fumi really is to me.
Yes, it's possible. My husband said he went to God and said, show me who this lady is. Apart from what I think I know about her, the real Fumi, who she is in the realm of the spirit, who she is character-wise. And God, this is who she is. This is how she is. That is it. So I think people need to adopt that method. Lord, show me who this person is.
Now, do we have to wait for God for everything? Because
you know those things. You see, if only people are honest with themselves, you will know them.
Good. Because you can think. You can see.
That is it. You can see. You can observe. You can hear from your discussions, from her attitudes, from, the way her behavior, her habits. You will know. That's just it.
A lady wanted to, she was with somebody, and the Lord told her that for her to fulfill ministry, she needs a partner. But this partner was nothing much between them. And she was like, which partner again? There's somebody I'm already going out with. Then she said to go and pray. She asked God, which partner? Is it this one that I am presently going out with, or you are seeing somebody else? Because if this one is with me and I say, I still need somebody, then something is wrong somewhere. And the Lord opened her eyes. What the man was thinking in his heart, she was hearing it in her ears. Negative. And she woke up, and the Holy Spirit said, yes, you have the answer already. And she now concluded, she now spoke to her, said that if what she had the man say about her negatively, then he cannot be the person for her to work with. So God speaks.
Yeah.
He shows you things. Now, ma, when you hide things from each other, either in a relationship or in marriage, can you spoil things? Can things run easily? I'm aware that if you are not in right standing with your spouse, your prayers may not be answered.
That's Bible.
I know. So,
1 Peter chapter 3, verse 7. He tells us, he says, you husbands, deal with your wives, dwell with your wives according to knowledge, so that your prayers
will not be hindered.
will not be hindered. So the way you treat your spouse goes a long way to show whether your heavens will be open and your prayers will be heard. Because if your spouse is not happy with you in her heart, forget it. You are just joking.
Happiness. She's not happy.
You made her sad by your attitude, by the way you are treating her, by the way you talk to her. Some men talk to their wives like, who is she? Just like a baby. Some talk to her like as if she's a dog, not themselves. No show of affection, no gentleness, no kindness, no mercy, no tenderness. If she does anything small, should you funny? Can't you see? Can you imagine? I regret the day I met you.
Exactly.
She'll never say that, no matter what she has done.
It is even worse when there's no salt, too much salt in the food.
Yeah, but let her just make her.
There's no mistake.
All the good that she has ever done is not counted. That shouldn't be so. And God said, look, I can't hear your prayers. Your wife is crying. She's weeping unto me. Even though you may not see the physical tears, but emotionally she's damaged. She's wounded. She's hurt.
When a woman cries, especially when it has to do with her relationship, that is not good at all.
You are injuring her. It's like you are killing her gradually. If she has to be crying every time, it's like, I wish I never got married to this man. You should enjoy your marriage. You should enjoy every bit of your relationship, not endure it like many people are doing today. They're just enduring it. It's like, I don't have a choice. I'm already in it. So, let me just go on.
So for those who are already in this, should I call it a mess? Who have found themselves in it, because the Bible says, the good I want, I don't, and the good I want to do, I cannot do. I know of a man who beats his wife. And after beating her, he runs out and he's like, did I do that? You know, for me, I think it's more spiritual. But sometimes,
and then it could be a psycho problem.
Yeah. So for people who have found themselves in this, can they be helped?
Yes, they can be helped with counseling, with prayers. Yeah. There's trauma healing classes, mental health, counselors that can.
Did you say nurses?
Mental health counselors, mental health
counselors.
So they help to deal with trauma, because that woman is traumatized.
And even the man.
And the man too can be traumatized. It's true. When you have a woman who is always nagging,
when they were young. That is another thing. Some people don't talk about their upbringing, which is very, very key. Very, very key. They know something went wrong. Some were raped. Some were battered. Some live with relations who were abusive, not good to them, but they don't talk about it.
And then consciously or unconsciously, they enter into marriage with that. And let me share my own example. I grew up in a family where we had no boy in our home, and we had 7 girls.
Wow.
So with my mom, 8, my cousin, 9. Girls, all girls.
Just to want to make a football team.
I'm telling you. And then only my dad as the man or the male figure in the house. So growing up in that environment, you always saw my dad and my mom having issues, fighting, quarreling. You beat her, she run out of the house. So when I was in the secondary school, I didn't love coming home for holiday because the mental picture I had is that so we're going to go through another round of these fightings and quarreling. So it affected my relationship. In fact, all of us, it affected our relationship with our dad because we saw him as a wicked man. And even when we were now old enough to be in relationship, it was like, I don't want any man to break my heart. Just fence off. No, And it took my husband to help me gradually because it was like growing up in a lion and cat, or rat and cat relationship. The lion has come, let everybody disappear. So we're always afraid of our dad. If he's coming back from work and we hear the honk of his horn, everybody, it was like a military zone. Everybody just sit down and then you're pretending that you're reading your book. I said, so what did you do today? When you come back from school and you want to present your results, you have to stand up and then this is it. Then you say, okay, so what did you have in English? 80. Maths. You can hear on your head. Science. Yes. Physics. So you have to mention. Then when you are going back to school, you write your list. You write your list and then he begins to scrutinize. Yes, this one, no, this one, one. Instead of this one, So the tension was always there. It is in the last few years, and I began to see that actually we were traumatized. So my husband had to help me.
He was able to identify that.
Of course. Even while we were yet in school, that no, you don't have to fear your parents. The Bible says we should honor our parents, but don't get to a state where, you are so traumatized that you can't even face your parents. So those issues that affect people in marriage sometimes date back to their childhood.
Yeah.
Which should be addressed, I think, in the course of courtship and premarital counseling. And if you have any issue, it's better to open up to those that can help you. If not, it will keep affecting your relationship and may end up destroying that relationship. If you grew up in a home where your mother always keeps things from her husband, you are likely going to do the same. Men cannot be trusted. You don't tell your husband everything. You have to be wise. Are you getting it?
Yeah.
And that has sunk into your subconscious.
Yes.
So you say, my bokuni do work. You don't do business with a man. You have your money, let him have his money. Yes, you can have money together, but make sure you have your own separate plan. So you find women building separate houses. They have accounts that the husband knows nothing about.
Wow.
Yes.
Wow. Thank you so much, ma'am.
Yes,
because of our time.
Yeah.
Your parting word for the people listening to us or watching us.
Yes. I want to say to us that marriage is built on trust. It's one of the very foundation and pillars of marriage. Trust. Secrecy erodes the trust of marriage. Whatever it is, whatever information that is needful for your spouse to know, please always make it available. Don't allow him to discover. It can be a potential bomb to destroy that relationship.
Thank you so much.
God bless you.
Thank you. There is no fear in love. So all what we've been talking about is about love. If you love that woman, if you love that man, you will open up or the man his love for you will make you open up. But like she has said, some people were brought up that way because of what they went through when they were growing. I encourage you today that you can take a boost, you can pray about it. There's some things that you just need God to help you. And apart from that, there are people you can talk to. If you need counseling, you need someone to talk to, the number to call is 08168337144. Many of you may know Mrs. Odeyemi, or if you don't know her, you want to get across to her, just call the same number, 08168337144. We'll be back same time, maybe with another topic. God bless you.